Welcome in, everybody. It's time for another edition of What's New at the Zoo with...
I'm Jim Bartoo.
I'm Devon O'Day, and we have got a spooktacular set of events. Do you like that spooktacular set of events?
That's clever. Yeah, that's clever.
I did that just for you. Hey, I want to say a shout out to all our homeschoolers because we've got a lot of homeschoolers who watch our show and they learn so much. So, hi guys, we're glad that you guys are with us.
Yeah, we got a special treat for you guys today. We got a behind the scenes look at the making of Zoolumination. So it's a great event and we're going to talk a little bit about that a little later on.
I know, they're all working around us and I have never seen a behind the scenes that was this detailed, and you're going to absolutely love it. Well, let's break into some of the cool things that are going to be happening the month of October at the zoo.
Yep. Yeah, things are cooling down, so we've got obviously some more events, reasons to get outside. The first one that we have coming up is Boo at the Zoo, and this is 21 nights. It starts on the 11th of October and it runs through the 31st. And this is a family fun event. This is a Merry Not Scary.
I love Merry Not Scary.
That's right. It's a Merry Not Scary Halloween event. Lots of trick-or-treating. There's a Monster Mash dance area. And of course, the carousel is going to be working. We encourage children and their parents and their guardians or their babysitters or whoever they're bringing out. Everybody dress up and come out. It's a beautiful Halloween event where everybody has a chance to dress up as something different and come out and enjoy the evening.
Now, let's say that we like Halloween date night, sexy Halloween.
Right, yes. We have another Halloween event that takes place just before Boo at the Zoo opens. We open it up for an adult costume party. It's adults only. It's called Booze at the Zoo. And it is Boo at the Zoo. It's a lot like Boo at the Zoo, same kind of areas that are open, trick-or-treating, dance area, but we also have some beverage tasting areas that you can sample, and we have food trucks that are around that night. And it's a great time for adults to dress up and be kids again. And that's October 10th. So that is the night before Boo at the Zoo starts on October 10th. And of course you can get tickets. Both of these events are separate ticketed events. So we close the zoo down, we kick everybody out, and then we open it up for these events. So the tickets that you can get for these events are at nashvillezoo.org. You need to pick them up now. Booze at the Zoo really is only structured to hold a certain number of people. So if you're interested in doing the costume party, go ahead and get your tickets because it is going to be popular. There's going to be a lot of people there.
Well, we're here, we're going to be celebrating Zoolumination, and we're preparing to start getting tickets for that. I've been to 2 different years of Zoolumination, and there's nothing like it. The only one in the United States is right here in Nashville.
That's right. As we roll into November, Halloween's over, we're getting into the holiday season. So I think it's the 14th of November, we open up Zoolumination. And if you haven't been before, Zoolumination is a Chinese lantern event. So these lanterns, and when people think about Chinese lanterns, you think about the ones that you light on fire and they go up in the air and they're tiny, right? No, these lanterns are massive, a lot like the one that's right behind me. They're just huge structures, some of them 30, 40 feet tall. They're all lit up at night. And these folks that are behind us are building that right now, and it'll be all over the zoo. It's about 1,000 different lanterns. They spread across a whole 3-mile pathway. You'll spend a solid 2 hours just walking around looking at lights. And they have all different kinds of things that you can look at. There'll be animals, there'll be mythical creatures,
and there'll
be buildings. Yeah, some of them move. We also have a North Pole Village, so we'll have plenty to get you into that holiday spirit as well, and just lots of stuff to see. And with that, we'll have performers. So we'll have some artisan performers on stage that you want to check out. Our concession stands will be serving some different types of food to get you into the spirit of Zoolumination. So just a lot of different stuff to offer for that event. Get your tickets early. Some of our busier nights do get full, and we do have a capacity size on those. So if you want to come out, if you have family that's coming into town, you want to take them all. The day after Thanksgiving, which is a very popular day, go ahead and get your tickets.
Away from them.
Yeah, get your tickets. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, even Thanksgiving, we're going to be open. We'll be open Thanksgiving night. We'll be open Christmas Eve night. We'll be open Christmas Day. That night we'll be open. So if you've got a bunch of family members around and you're just tired of looking at each other and you want to get out and do something, bring them out to Zoolumination because we will be open every single night starting November 14th.
And boy, do they have fun at the zip line going across Zoolumination.
Oh, it's all lit up at night, so you can ride this line at night. You can see all across the zoo with all the lit things that are there. It's a great event.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to really unpack where we are. We've got a very special expert that's going to join us.
That's right. Joan is going to join us, and she is Joan is the interpreter for this whole group of people. These are all people, artisans that create all these. They don't speak English, so we have one interpreter to help us kind of get all this stuff going, and we're going to meet her after this.
Stay with us.
You girls having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy.
Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
Are we there yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
We're going to go into a complete cultural experience, Jim. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. So the people that are responsible for building all of the things that you see at Zoolumination, it's a group called Zigong Lantern Cultural Industry, and they're based out of China. It is a huge company. This isn't the only event that they do. They do these all over the world. And they come in around mid-August to set up to start building all of this stuff. A lot of stuff they build beforehand and then they ship it in. And when they come in, they usually bring about 30 or so different artisans that come in to help build. And we have one person that helps us translate all of that so we can get everything set up. This one translator works with us year after year on this event, and that person is Joan Zhao. And Joan is here to kind of talk to us a little bit about this event.
Should we say ni hao?
你好，
你好。
professional.
Okay, see?
Yep.
There we go.
Ni hao is how you say hello. So if you're out on zoo grounds over the next couple of months and see these folks setting up, and you will, because they're going to be all over the place, ni hao is the way to say hi, and they're very friendly and they'll say hi back. But Joan, tell me a little bit about Zigong Lantern Cultural Industry. Tell me a little bit about the company.
Okay, so our company, Zigong Lantern Culture Industry Group, is an experienced company specialized in the events such as Lantern Festival, landscape lighting, festival lighting.
Right.
We have the experience for over 20 years, and we're the largest LED lantern company manufacturer in the whole world.
Right, and you guys come from Zigong, China.
Yes.
And
we do.
Zigong, China is known as a lantern city. Tell me a little bit about why it's known as a lantern city.
Well, I'm not very familiar of the long history about
okay.
it, but what I do know is we have specific, very giant lantern show in Zigong. Every year we have the show, and it's millions of lanterns
Yeah.
displayed there.
And just to kind of give people an idea, we're talking about a city of lanterns that you walk through. It's blocks and blocks of just lanterns that you walk through. So it's like walking through a whole city.
It is, and I'd say like 40% of the citizens living in the city, they work in this industry, lantern industry, from generations to generations.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been going on that for quite some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joan, you are the only interpreter for this group of people. First of all, how many people came with you in your team?
This year we brought 32 people with us. Yeah, every year basically this is the team size, but back in China, when we do the domestic production in China, we have over 100 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. And
only
how
working
many,
on this show.
How many different events do you do? Zoolumination is obviously the largest in the United States, but you have others that you do around the world. How many shows do you do every year?
Well, basically annually, now we have like over 50 shows
Wow.
in more than 20 countries and areas all over the world.
Wow.
And
Okay.
mainly in the North America, South America, and Europe. So we have, while we're talking here, we have our teams working in Ireland,
Wow,
in
okay.
British, in Germany, in Netherlands, in Japan, in Korea, and well, different countries.
All over the planet.
All
yeah,
over the
that's
planet,
fantastic.
I'd
Now,
say.
and do you get to go and interpret for any of those other places, or are you stuck here in Nashville?
Well, I stuck here in Nashville, and I like stucking here in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You like
yeah.
being here.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Well, we're a friendly city. So just kind of walk people through the whole process of how these are made. We start with design ideas that are given to the
yes.
zoo, and then once the zoo says, yeah, that's what we want to go with, walk through kind of what takes place, how they're built from the ground up, from scratch.
So we do the welding. We have our talented electricians. They just know, what kind of lights
Right.
they need to put to make it look beautiful with the
make it
right
glow.
color, make it glow, but not too glow,
And not too
yeah.
hot, because
Yeah.
let's discuss this. I know that we've got a little piece of what we cover this stuff with. This is literal silk.
Yeah,
Yep.
fabric.
It's
So
all
fabric
stretched in
it is,
silk.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the wrong kind of light bulb,
Cold light there.
you have to have cold lights, and you have to make sure they all work, because you can't pull everything off and check it. I'm watching right
Get
now.
into it. Yeah.
They're
that's right.
putting the lights up even as we speak inside the metal frames.
Right, yeah, they start with a design that's that they have on tarps on the ground, and then they kind of bend the framing.
They bend the framing. We call
Right.
it lofting. It's like
Okay.
our designers and artists. So we have that print ready for them, and they bend each of the metals, and then they start to assemble them to be
And
a
that's
frame.
when the welders come in and kind of build it into a 3D model.
It is, yeah.
Okay, when you show up, do you have anything kind of pre-made at all, or is it just everything from scratch once you get here?
Everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Well,
That's amazing.
Every year it's new. Now they'll start earlier in the year in China building some of the smaller stuff, and they'll wrap it up and they'll
Okay.
ship it to us, right? But the bigger stuff that doesn't fit in sea crates or can't be shipped for whatever reason are all made by scratch here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're seeing here now, is they're putting together the bigger structures that go up. And as I said before, some of these structures are 30, 40 feet high. They're huge buildings that light up at night.
And now some of these things move, so and then when you look at them, there's so much detail, like eyelashes on the
Yeah.
animals, and the eyelashes that blink and things like that. Do you have painters that come afterward?
we do, yeah. After the silk ladies finish on the silk work, and we do bring every year we bring one painter, and he is responsible for the whole
One
project.
painter.
Yeah.
And they'll airbrush some of the specifics onto there. But they use different colored silks too to be able to create
As
all
a
that
base,
vibrant
yes.
color.
if you've got kids that are studying and you want a true cultural experience, that's what this is going to be about. But it's fun. That's the cool thing, is there are some wonderful stations all through. You get some hot chocolate and then just walk through and see this wonderful event. Zoolumination starts in mid-November.
November 14th it starts, and it actually runs all the way through February 9th, so you've got plenty of time to see it. But like I said before, if you have people coming in town for the holidays and you want to take them to an event, make sure you get your tickets in advance. They're on sale now. You can go to our website and pick them up anytime.
I love it. NashvilleZoo.org. Get your tickets early and make sure that you are part of the Zoolumination experience. We're so lucky in Nashville to have this.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. So, and next up, of course, we have a special guest like we do every show. So, Joan, you're welcome to stick around. I'll give you a hint. We're going to see a snake.
Oh, you brought a snake?
Yeah. Are you okay with snakes?
Wow, can I make friends later?
Maybe later. Yeah, you'll make friends later. Okay. All right.
Oh, we just love snakes around here. That's okay, because we've always got a very special expert along to take care of us when it comes to our herpetology. Stay tuned for more of What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo.
So, you want to be a part of the Busy Bee team, huh? Well, how do you see yourself fitting into the organization? Oh, I get it. You want to be a weather bee.
Having fun?
Yeah, I'm going to key of my own pretty soon. Me too.
Good night, Kia guy.
Good night.
Buckle up, Dad.
There yet?
At Kia of Murfreesboro, we're here whether you're ready or not.
He shoots and he scores!
Well, this is my favorite part of any show that we do, Jim.
You say that almost sarcastically.
Yeah, I love the snakes. I just love them.
Well, snakes are an important part of the ecosystem, right?
They are.
They're great
They eat
animals.
rodents. They eat rodents, and we would be overrun with rodents.
That's
and,
right. Yeah. And so today we have a special snake friend, and Hope Kennedy's with us.
Hi,
and Hope's going to
Hope.
tell us a little bit about this animal named Dante.
Yes. So Dante is a Dumeral's ground boa. So he is a type of snake that's typically found in southern areas of Madagascar. So when you think of Madagascar, sometimes you think of rainforest, but
And roaches. You know,
Yeah,
the Madagascar
roaches, for
roaches.
sure.
Click, 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 click.
so this snake actually prefers the savanna areas of Madagascar.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah, being a ground boa, he does like to hang out more on the floor. They're not super big into climbing like some other snakes are.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
Yeah, he has this lovely patterning to help him blend in with dead leaves along the floor of his habitat.
And what do they eat in the wild in Madagascar? I know here we kind of feed them, different rodent sizes and things like that, but what do they eat in the wild?
Yeah, they're pretty opportunistic. So they are going to eat small birds. They might eat other reptiles, and small mammals as well are also a big staple.
Right. Yeah. And you guys have a great educational component about the size of the animal that they eat. What's a good way to understand what size of an animal a typical snake would eat?
For sure. So it's typically the biggest thing they can eat is around the size of the largest part of their body.
Right.
So for Dante, kind of about where my thumb is here. Obviously, that's a bit bigger than his head.
Yeah. So really, anything that's about that big around at its
Yep.
biggest point is going to be all Dante can handle.
Yeah, for sure. He's not going to eat anything super large or
Right.
anything like that. I will say, being a male, he's a little bit on the small side for a Dumeral's ground boa. The
Okay.
females can get a bit bigger. So it's definitely possible for a large female to eat like a young lemur, things like that.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
yeah, typically they'll top out at about 7 or 8 feet though. It's not a huge species.
The females typically top out at
Yeah.
7 or 8. And how big is Dante?
Dante, we don't typically measure him, but I think he's probably about 5 feet when he's all spread out.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
he's kind of poised for action here. Whenever they go for their prey, do they dart out and bite?
Yes, so he's
Okay.
definitely relaxed right now. You're not in any sort of danger, I promise. But they definitely are ambush predators. So they're
Yeah.
going to kind of sit where they're at, blend in as well as they can, and once a prey animal kind of walks right by them or flies right by them, that's when they're going to take that opportunity to strike very
Be
quickly.
real still.
And tell us a little bit about his tongue and what he's doing now. Tell us kind of what the purpose is behind that.
For sure. So that tongue is actually how Dante is smelling. So this is a very new environment for him. There's a lot of different kind of information to take in on a sensory level. So he is sticking that tongue out. It's collecting all sorts of scent particles from the air. It comes back into his mouth and it meets up with a special organ on the roof of his mouth called the Jacobson's organ. Now that Jacobson's organ is going to tell him what he's smelling with his tongue, but it's also going to help him to interpret what direction that smell is coming from based on which side of that forked tongue those scent particles are sticking to.
Obviously, you think it's this direction because he keeps kind of looking this way. But
Yeah.
when they bite, do they ever bite in defense?
They definitely can, yeah.
Okay.
Typically, if they do get kind of scared, they are going to try to slither away in most instances. But if they were to be cornered or certain snakes, if they get startled, they definitely can bite. There have actually been studies done that look at how certain snakes react to like a mock boot being put close to them. And the majority of the time, they will try to slither away rather than to bite. It was a very small percentage of the total individuals studied that did choose the fight rather than the flight.
Snakes in general are like that. They generally don't want to have anything to do with people. They want to stay away from people. Occasionally you will encounter one in the wild, and in general, if you stay away from it, it's going to stay away from you. They really have no interest in bothering people.
For
Okay.
sure.
All right, that's good to know. I'm going to make note of that, and I'm not screaming, I'm not moving, no sudden motion. But I mean, I was curious: do people who have pets that are snakes swear that they're very, very affectionate and that they really like? I mean, I've had people say they sleep with their snakes, they really love their snakes. Are they really affectionate? Or are they just looking to size you up to see if you're going to fit in that fat part of their body?
I would say it's somewhere kind of in between.
Oh,
so
okay.
they definitely aren't looking at their owners as like potential food or anything like that.
More of a warmth, a source of
Oh, okay,
warmth.
okay.
For
Yes.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So most snakes are solitary, so they're not really programmed on like an evolutionary level
To
to really
cuddle.
enjoy cuddling and touch. But yeah, like Jim said, if they are cold and a human is warm, because they're cold-blooded, they're going to take advantage of that heat source.
Yep.
Okay, well, what about snakes in the wild when they're dating? I mean, like, is there a courting, mating ritual that they do, or how do you work with that? Do you have mating pairs in the herpetology department here at the zoo?
Yeah, the herpetology department does do some breeding with their reptiles. As part of the behavioral husbandry department, none of our reptiles are currently part of breeding programs, so
Okay.
I don't know the specific details, but I do know that when a male and female snake find each other in the wild, there definitely is some sort of courtship, a bit of a change in behavior. They have to obviously kind of position themselves in a way that's great for breeding. So they definitely will interact, but after that interaction is done, typically they'll head their separate ways. I will say something that's super cool about the reproductive strategy of Dumeral's ground boas specifically is that they actually will give birth to live young.
What?
Yeah.
No, they don't have eggs? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, some snakes have live birth. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's something called ovoviviparous. So if an animal is oviparous, they lay eggs. If they're viviparous, they have live young. This specific type of snake is something that's in the middle. So they're gonna have eggs, but those eggs are gonna spend a long time inside of mom, and they're actually going to hatch inside of her before she gives birth.
Wow.
See, I knew there was so much about you, Dante, we have learned today.
He's a superstar.
He is.
He is a superstar, and so are you.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you for coming
Yeah,
in.
Hope, thanks for coming out today. Do we have any questions from
Yes,
people? Or?
we do. And all of our homeschoolers, we always say hi to our homeschoolers because they really love this show, and it's part of a curriculum that they add. It's a little enrichment. And we did have a request from a little guy, and his name was Donovan, and he is from the Joelton area, and he wanted to know what is the newest animal you have, and can you see him at the zoo already? And when we were on the way in, you showed us a new animal.
Yes, but you can't see him at the zoo. Yes.
See?
We recently acquired a male okapi. Yes, and so we have him. He's in the back of the property. He's brand new. We get animals, animals come and go all the time, so we get new animals a lot. Not a whole lot of those animals wind up on public exhibit for lots of different reasons, but I know that we have a recent birth of some crocodile tegu lizards that are incredible, beautiful lizards that you can come and check out. I think they're on exhibit. I'm not sure at this point. I know we're working on a jellyfish exhibit that's going to be opening up soon, so you can see that pretty soon. We're still working out some details on the pumps and everything. You got to make sure that the water for jellyfish is just right, or you can't put them in there. So we're kind of working on the water right now.
I will say, if you miss out on the aquarium exhibit, you are missing everything. Those are the friendliest fish I've ever seen. You go over and talk to them, and they'll come up because they're used to being fed.
Yeah, the Unseen New World has a lot of great stuff in it. Not just snakes and spiders, but there's some cool fish in there. There's bats in there. There's lots of great stuff to see.
Well, we are so glad that you guys are part of what we do here at the Nashville Zoo, from Zoolumination to Boo at the Zoo to Booze at the Zoo, and of course our ambassador animals. We're glad that you guys are part of us. We've got some wonderful sponsors that put this on, like Kia of Murfreesboro. We love Martin and his daughters, who are always part of his life there. And you know, go see the Kia man when you need a new vehicle.
That's right, and Busy Bee, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. So all in one stop. I know a lot of people are like, man, I got a leaky toilet, or I need a plumber to come out and do this. You don't think of a company that does plumbing and heating and air conditioning as all in one, but Busy Bee does. They can do it all for you. So give them a call and they'll fix you right up.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Always, always, NashvilleZoo.org. Get your tickets, and it's coming up on Christmas season, and you think, what can we get? What can we get as a gift for so-and-so? Try a family gift this year.
You can do a membership, which is good all year. If you want to give them an experience, take them out to Zoolumination. Lots of great things to do. We have backstage pass programs, so you can do behind-the-scene visits with some animals. There's all different kinds of things. Adopt an animal if you wanted to do something to help with the conservation work. We have adopt an animal programs that are involved, so lots of different ways that you can give and support the Nashville Zoo, which a lot of people don't know this. Nonprofit organization. You know, we have tickets at the gate that really support us a lot, but we also depend on donations and support from the community to be able to offer programs like Dante going out into the schools and Zoolumination to be able to build. All of that comes from support from the community, people like you.
Yeah, people like you. We're so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with us next time and for the next episode of What's New at the Zoo with Jim Bartoo. I'm Devon O'Day. See ya.
I'm Jim Bartoo. Bye-bye.